us a thing that we are going to be willing as consumers to spend money on, then the people who put it on for us really should be compensated well. Especially when you consider the owners, millionaires and billionaires, for literally just owning.
Speaking of good news, folks, Rocket City Trash Pandas players will be making more than double during this baseball season. That's right, their pay is gonna double. Rocket City Trash Pandas players' pay will double this season. That is if they ratify the collective bargaining agreement negotiated by their union that they just won in September. The agreement is for 5 years. It's a tentative agreement. It is now off to the membership for a membership ratification vote with the 5,000 minor league baseball players who are now members of the union. The biggest thing is really the wages. The biggest thing is really the wages in this agreement. And across all levels of the minor leagues, pay is going to be more than doubling. So let's take a look at this. From in the complex league, which that's rookie ball. I don't know what it is. I don't know exactly what that means. But the complex league, their pay is going to go from $4,800 a year, which is wild. Think about that, to $19,800 a year. Still not a whole lot, but you're getting a lot closer to, this job is something that is kind of sustainable. At the rookie league, you're still, it's kind of, I think, expected that you're going to be working a second job. But it's, from 5,000 to 20,000, a quadrupling in that case. That's huge, right?
Absolutely.
In the low A's, pay is going from $11,000 to $26,200 a year. In the high A's, it's going to be going from $11,000 to $27,300 a year, which is, again, not enough, I don't think, and that's my issue with having a 5-year agreement is, this is their first contract, so obviously, hopefully, the next one's going to be better. I just hate they're going to have to wait for 5 years to get to the next one. The double A's, which is what Rocket City Trash Pandas is. Rocket City Trash Pandas is the double A minor league affiliate, is a double A minor league affiliate of the Angels. Their pay is going to be going from $13,800 a year to $30,250 a year. This is $30,000 a year is, you're getting pretty close to, this is a reasonable pay, I think. I think I would be, the USFL, basically the minor league football, one of the minor spring football leagues, their pay is $55,000 in their newly negotiated union contract. So I think something like that really should be the goal, but still a big improvement. And then finally in the triple A's, it's going from $17,500 a year to $35,800 a year. So like I said, the pay is really the biggest thing, and that's, the biggest thing that the baseball players were telling folks, when they would be asked about, why are you unionizing? That's why. And so that's a pretty big difference. Major League Baseball also agreed during the contract not to reduce minor league affiliates from the current 120.
That's very significant.
Yes, that is very significant. Now, there are going to be, so that's the minor league affiliates. There's going to be no less teams over the course of this contract. There are going to be very few more players in that the max that they could have now I think is 190, and the max under this contract is going to be 180. So there will potentially be some like a couple here and there folks that positions on the teams that aren't going to be available, but I think overall it's a good thing. Also, most players will be guaranteed housing, and players at AA and AAA will be given a single room as opposed to having to bunk together. Players at low A and high A will have the option of exchanging club housing for a stipend. The domestic violence and drug policies will be covered by the union agreement as well, and players who sign for the first time at 19 or older can become minor league free agents after 6 seasons instead of 7. Minor league players will also receive 4 weeks of retroactive spring training pay for this year. They'll get $625 weekly for spring training and off-season training camp, and $250 weekly for off-season workouts at home. So, like I said, it's a huge difference from what they were working with before. And I'm really excited about this. I think that it's going to make the minor leagues a lot more sustainable. I'm obviously, being in Huntsville, a fan of the Trash Pandas. I go to games fairly regularly. And I'm excited to know that, they're going to be making significantly more than they made last year. So,
and it's always good as union folks to be able to support other union folks, right? And now, as I mentioned with the XFL and USFL, how cool it is to cheer on those brothers out there knowing they have a union contract. And it's the same here with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, the Birmingham Barons, and the rest of the minor league teams. So definitely good news to hear this morning.
Yeah, and it's worth remembering what they faced, right? They were legally exempted from minimum wage laws by a law passed in 2018 under Trump. And many of them, like I just said, made less than $12,000 a year. And when you're doing a professional sport, even if it's in the minor leagues, that requires really kind of a full-time level dedication to practicing, training, working out, all of this type of stuff. And so the time that you can spend doing a second job is really limited, and they provide a lot of entertainment for folks. And if this is a thing that we are going to be willing as consumers to spend money on, then the people who put it on for us really should be compensated well. Especially when you consider the owners, millionaires and billionaires, for literally just owning, right? The quintessential, the archetypal business owner, who works hard and kind of comes from the bottom up and has a small business and works longer than his employees. That's not the case with sports leagues, right? They're literally just owners for owning, whereas all these people are doing lots of work. It's pretty insane, the system. They really, preyed on people's dreams. And Adam, you remembered working in a restaurant and talking to, some of the Stars players back in the day, right?
Oh, yeah.
About stuff that they faced.
Yeah, I worked for a little while at one of the restaurants that was at the Joe Davis Stadium back when we had the Huntsville Stars. And I got a chance to talk to some of the players. And if I remember right, they were staying 4 to an apartment. And these were not like big, luxurious apartments either. Right. They were pretty much, one of the cheapest complexes in South Huntsville, fairly close to the stadium. So, they were struggling. They were struggling. It was very obvious. They were living, like kids, basically, having to, help each other out, living off ramen noodles and staying 4 to an apartment. So, to hear that there's improvement on housing, there's improvement with pay, I think that's significant because, like you said, they prey on folks' dreams. So many young folks have a dream to play professional sports, and we know the reality is most will not make it. Right. But that opportunity is kind of dangled out for so many, young men and women out there in the sporting leagues. It's dangled and, it's taken advantage of. And so I think through collective organization, these workers, like any other worker, can have a better existence and a better salary and better working conditions for themselves and for their families.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project. And you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.